Check your Twitter replies for more lists. Okay, yeah, we'll look at a couple more lists so you guys can get inspired to make your own. And because you hate the ones that have been made so far. What do we think about this guy's list? Nupo, Nas, Rawas, Drowley, TRK, Moxie, Zen, Shoddy, Yan, Atto. Probably too many S tiers. This guy is not North American, I'll tell you that much. In fact, we should have been able to tell that he was Saudi with 4 Saudi players in rank S. And Yan over Diaz is just... Sorry, can't be having that. Where's the first American? Only one American. Oh, Wavy. Wavy and Daniel are his 1-2 in America. Interesting. Frosty above Beast Mode? I actually don't think that's a terrible... I don't know. Frosty's pretty good. He doesn't play as much, but I think he's actually pretty good. Beast Mode's probably just low. Chronic being this low, yeah, this guy doesn't know America. That's okay. All right, let's look at Elsa's tier list. He made an S+, which is a bit of a cop-out, but I do think that it needs more tiers, because I included a lot of people. Nas, Daniel, Diaz. We might be looking at a North American, okay? That's a bit of Daniel bias here. Drowley Nupo is the next tier. And then... You know, I'm surprised that someone who's making this many tiers doesn't bump Rawas up based on his performance against Nas, like where he finished. First Killer, Jack, Atto. I mean, this is still a pretty good list. Obviously, he doesn't value Evo's final in Salt Mine very much. Chalk Top! They give it a tier 1 for 5 months. Lion Blaze F. I'm not too worried about the lower ones necessarily. Could be worse. Not a bad list here from Elso Alt. Don't hate it. Nupo and Nas literally smoked Diaz 3-0. Diaz is for sure the top rank, whatever it is going to be. I won't even really argue on that. This guy's got a lot of rank S people. Looks like everybody who did well in Salt Mine plus Nupo and Zen. Not a terrible list. I think I like this top tier. I think this might be how my top tier ends up looking. Just Nas and Diaz. Atto, Rawas, Drowley, Evo, Moxie, Daniel, First Killer. Wait a second. This guy might be cooking. Let's continue to look. Wavy, Shoddy, Vatira, Jorias, Cosmic, Nupo. Bit low for Nupo. Zen, Nush, Chronic, Appjack. Okay, my only issue so far... Probably a bit low for Nupo. Ghazi, Beast Mode, Nuggets, TRK. Probably a bit low for TRK. Toxic, Tempo, Raziers, AJ, Mozzarella, Juke. This is a pretty good list. I think Nupo's just a bit low. We haven't seen... Yan is just like a speculation. Wherever you throw Yan, I'm not going to be too offended. Unless you put him above Diaz. Then I'm going to be offended. This is a pretty good list. That's a pretty good list. All right, how about this guy's list? Can't really see his S+ for some reason because of the way he took a screenshot. But he's got Diaz, Nas, Rawas, Zen, Daniel, Atto, Drowley, Moxie, Wavy. I think that's a bit high for Wavy. I don't mind putting Yan in S. We don't really know, but... First Killer, TRK, Jorius, Jack, Chronic, Juicy, Beast Mode, Monkey Moon... Nupo. I think Nupo, that's a bit low for Nupo. But otherwise, it's a pretty good list too. Evo might be a bit low based on how he finished Salt Mine. Don't hate it. I don't hate it all around. Mob maybe a bit low compared to some of the people who are in B, but it's tough. Diaz overrated. Mods! Get him. Okay, this is what I don't really understand. Putting so many people in rank S. But Nupo, Rawas, Nast, Rally, Zen, Daniel, Beast Mode. Beast Mode can't be in with these people in rank S. Unfortunately. And neither can Monkey Moon. He doesn't have any reason to be up there. He's more of a speculation guy, but you certainly can't speculate him into rank S. And Zen is also a speculation guy, but I'm like letting him get away with it. Add a Zapatos. I did make a Zapatos one. I might add it when I do it. S tier should be more exclusive. Yeah, Monkey Moon is just basically speculation. He's not a bad 1v1er, but he's not S. This is just Beast Mode and Monkey Moon are just getting credit for the 3v3 ability for this person, clearly. Otherwise, pretty decent list. Again, it looks like Yan is over Diaz, which I can't even for 1 second entertain it. Okay. This is just too populated of a rank S. But what I did, chat, is I made an E. I made a rank E. That was going to be my plan. Did I see that right that you're an RLCS host now? I am indeed an RLCS commentator, but just for 1v1s. Just for 1v1s. Did you see how low FK was? Wait, on this last one or this one? Where is FK on this one? In B? Yeah, it's too low. With Beast Mode above him. I love my guy Beast Mode, dude. He's been grinding ones more recently. Don't get me wrong. And he did pretty well in Salt Mine. But is there a reason why he should be getting a whole tier above First Killer? I don't think so. Maybe I'm crazy. All right, this is Birds Are Dope. This is somebody in the chat. This is Birds Are Dope. He's in the chat. Let us see how his ranking was. Nas Diaz. I like that. I like an S tier being just Nas and Diaz. Atto, Drally, Evo. First Killer. Moxie, Nupo, Rawas, Daniel, Wavy, Zen, TRK. I don't hate it. I think Wavy has faltered enough to maybe not be in this crew. But obviously Evo is from his great performance to finish.
If you broke down crying, which pro player on this list would you want to hug off of?
This feels weird, but I would want a hug from somebody I felt like I knew the best and not just like someone I barely knew. So I think I'm going to go with Jorius. Why are you answering that? Come on. I have to answer it. It's TTS question. It's TTS question. If I broke down crying and I need someone to give me a hug, I pick Jorius. Anyways, we continue looking at this list. Birds Are Dope. What did I not like about it? Nothing so far. So far, it's pretty darn good. Wavy maybe a bit high. All right, let's look at Jack, Beast Mode, CRR Juicy, Chronic, Jorius, Raziers, Nush, Shoddy, Vatira, Tempo, Yan. Wait a second. Is my man cooking? I don't see terrible problems here either. I think CRR's maybe high. Because we haven't seen him a ton. I don't think he played Salt Mine. Based on a couple of games he played in King of the Hill, maybe he's a bit high. Yeah, Cosmic maybe low. Cosmic, Atomic, AJ, Kofer, Juke, Killiers, Joyo, Ghazi, Lion Blaze, Magic Bear, Reddles, Mozzarella, Monkey Moon, Nico, Nugget, Red Mob, Dr. No, Toxic, Oski. Toxic might be low. Oski might be low. He hasn't played as much. I don't hate this list. FBI is probably low. I think FBI is low. I think he'd probably win consistently against Dr. Known. Dr. Known's been having a good run recently. I think Frosty's probably better than D based on what I've seen. But he also doesn't really focus on it. I don't hate this list.
RLCS hosting gig at Feer. Well deserved after everything you have done for the game, players and fans. You deserve the glaze.
Thank you, Chalktop. I appreciate that. Here's how you guys can submit your list. Birds Are Dope has a pretty good list. He might have the best list I've looked at so far. I will not lie. With very few exceptions, I put people in D tier if they haven't performed well in Salt Mine, Arm the Rebels, or show matches. Let me know if I'm sleeping on anybody. This is Mateo. Moxie Rawas. That's it. You're sleeping on somebody. It took me 2 seconds to see how much you're sleeping. You are asleep, my man. You are in a coma, actually. You are in a straight up coma, my guy. You actually, what really is you didn't watch this year. You're like from 2 years ago. You're just looking back at 2 years ago.
Of RL Pro's names: Keely Orts, Radisson, Geek, Moxie, Jorius, Wavidai Tai.
Jorius. Keely Orts. Yeah, you haven't watched the last year, man. Moxie Rawas aren't the top anymore. I don't think we need to look too much more at that. All right, let's get Yakumis. Nas, Diaz, Rawas, Atto, Moxie, Wavy. We got a Wavy stand here. Wait, what? Oh, did you reset the prediction? I still have yet to see anything from Atto, but... Let's see. Nas, Diaz, Rawas, Atto, Moxie, Wavy. Wavy probably a bit high. Evo, Drally, Vatira, Abject, Nupo, Jorias. I think, does Evo deserve a full tier above Daniel for his 2 wins against him? You at least have an argument for it.
Why was J not included on this list?
Guys, I blew it. I couldn't get everybody. The biggest one I missed was Zapatos for sure. But that's because I made his name and thought I had already gotten it, and then I went back, made the flags, didn't realize I had remade his. Nupo is S? Probably is. Yeah, I would agree. If you're putting this many people in S, then you're putting Nupo in S as well, for sure. I don't think S should have that many people, but that's just me. Not a terrible... Ooh, potentially S. Zen, Yan, TRK. That's fair. Putting these guys in their own tier where they don't really play much is fine. Reed! Thank you for the 36 months. See mine? You posted it now? All right, let's look at Gons. Super populated S tier for this guy. Nas, Drally, Rawas, Atto, Zen, Nupo, TRK, Moxie, Diaz, Daniel. I mean, it's a pretty darn populated S tier. Some of those people probably don't deserve to be there. A, Fatira, Beast Mode, First Killer, Abject Jory is Yan, Chronic, Toxic Tempo, Wavy Juicy, Ibowaski, Stizzy. Should Cosmic be one step below these guys? Everyone has him one step below. I have to go look at his results to double check. I don't know where Cam is, brother. I'm sorry. Atomic, Raziers, FBI, Nico. Nothing too terrible here. I mean, a lot of these guys don't really play much ones. I just included them because I was going through the list at the time. I don't think Mob is D. I don't think Mob is D based on what we saw from him. He's probably higher. Still not the worst list of all time. We've seen some poor ones so far. Okay, Nasty as Drally. This is insane. Chat, this is insane. Karsten Wellspring. Karsten Wellspring, David the 2 gifted. Okay. Chat, this is insane. This is the moderator. This is the guy who says Gamba, 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 Gamba up, Gamba, Gamba, Gamba up. In my defense, I made it in 3 minutes. You have no defense. If it's not perfect, we hate you. Okay, S tier, Nasty is Drally, Rawas, Moxie. Someone in chat said that's a crazy S tier. Is it? Is it? It should probably have Nupo too. If you're gonna add more people to S tier, I'm surprised that people aren't putting Nupo up there. If people are gonna keep packing in the S tier, how come Nupo's never one of the options? Zen, Daniel, Appjack, Nupo, Raziers, Atto, Yan, Monkey Moon, First Killer, Wavy, Evo, Wisty, TRK, Nugget is probably high if this is where you're going to make your A tier. Beast Mode, Batira, Toxic. Beast Mode probably also high. But you kind of put everybody who's like contender-ish from NA in A. Why is Chronic? No! What is Chronic doing below these guys? Scribbles, AJ. Hey. It could be worse. Jor Oots down in B. Yeah, I mean, Chronic, Nush, Shoddy. Dude, some of these guys, I don't know. You almost need more tiers. I almost want to have like infinite tiers. I feel like there's big jumps and it's hard to figure it out. We'll see when we do our own. Why am I so low? Cosmic, I'm not going to lie to you, brother. You've been getting boomed by these tier lists. You have been getting boomed by these people's tier lists, okay? All right, let's look at this guy. Battler. He's got Nas, Diaz, Drally. I don't hate it. Again, I think you'd add Nupo here, but he didn't even rank Nupo, so that's fair. Rawas, Zen, Atto, Moxie, Daniel, First Killer, Jack, Jorius, TRK, Vatira, Evo, Beast Mode, Razier's, Tempo. If I'm looking at this, which one do I hate the most? I don't really hate any of them. I do think Beast Mode is a bit overhyped. Everyone is giving him credit for his threes ability. And Cosmic is probably underhyped. I wonder if we compared Cosmic and Beast Mode's 1v1 accolades, how much they'd compare. Linger!
Great
Thank
seeing
you.
you being part of RLCS, my dude. Glad.
Thank you for the 5 months of tier 1. All right, let's look at the next one. Nas, Nupo, Drally, Rawas. Okay, this person added extra people to S and they included Nupo. Oh, but they don't have Diaz. How are you going to do that to him? How are you going to do that to our boy Diaz? Okay, let's try and get past that. If you just add Diaz into S, the S looks fine. Moxie, Zen, TRK, Daniel, Yan, Batira, Wavy, Appjack, Atto, Chronic, Evo, First Killer, Jor Oots, Cosmic! Our first Cosmic Believer. Our first Cosmic Believer, if it isn't Terex ZX. Nico. That's some hype for Nico. Monkey Moon, Beast Mode. Razier's, Shoddy, CRR, AJ, Tempo, Wisty, Killiers, Ghazi. Okay. I think there's a big gap somewhere in here, but I put a ton of names in there. There's only so many tiers. Rise, Atomic Flitz. Why do you have FBI at the bottom? FBI is better than that. Am I crazy? Am I crazy or is FBI like pretty good? Still, not a terrible list. Your biggest fault is just Diaz has to be S. All right, let us do some 1v1 tier listing. We're going to have to go lightning speed because I'm going to let you vote. Actually, here's how we're going to start. Chat, who is a best example of an S tier 1v1er? Who is the best example you have of an S tier 1v1er? Don't say me, smiley face. Diaz, Nas, Diaz, Nupo. I'm gonna go with Nas. I'm gonna try and help us gauge. What? Why can't you guys see that? There we go. Nas is S. They with 5 months of Prime. Okay, who is a good example of an A tier? If Nas is A, who's a good example of someone you're sure will end up being A tier? Not someone who's borderline B, not someone who's borderline S. Someone who's gonna be A tier. Atto, Jack, Drally, Atto. I don't hate Atto. He might be a little bit too borderline S, but I think he's gonna end up in A tier. So I'm okay with that. Now we need a B tier player.
Is it true you're an RLCS caster now?
It is. Only for the 1v1s. But I am a special guest on the RLCS. Okay, who's a good B tier, chat? Tempo, CRR, Wavy, Cosmic, Reddles, AJ, Toxic, you. Tempo, Raziers or Wavy, Shoddy. This one's kind of tougher. Do we think Tempo will end up being B? Based on what we saw from him in RLCS. Toxic could be a potential good one. Do you guys have Tempo A? What would be your issues with Tempo? CRR is perfect. CRR is a bit too inactive. I don't like using CRR as a gauge when he hasn't played a ton. You have Tempo potentially lower. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Let me see. How do we feel about... Who's a good B? Who's just, you know, no question going to be a B? Chronic, you think? Raziers? Raziers might be a good B. Let's see how we feel about Raziers. We can always change. All right, C. Who's our C tier? We're trying to just start with some gauges, and then we're going to go through everybody. Magic Bear, Nuggets, Mozzarella, Skippy, Magic Bear, Seiko. I'm not... Shoddy is definitely not... That's too low. Juicy, too low in C. Smashy or the Mob could be a good one. How do we feel about if we go Mob C as a start? Is it too low? Is it too high? It's too low. Yes, because Mob is, of course, S tier. The Mob. There's no way we're putting him lower than S tier. No, I think C is pretty good. Okay, how about D? What do we think about D tier? I don't know if we necessarily need D tier. We might be able to figure it out as we go. A Flitz, a Dr. Known. All right, I think if we say these are A, B, C tiers, we probably have a good enough gauge. Too many tiers? No, I think we're gonna be good. I think having this many tiers is gonna be important. All right, we'll now go alphabetically. So, apparently Jack, chat. Considering who we have at S, A, B, and C, we can always move things around if we want. Where would we put apparently Jack? And we need to average like a placement. Oh, I didn't even put S as an option. Caught! I don't think Jack should be S tier. I don't know what else to say. We're not going to redo the poll because I think that's fine. I don't want to put Jack S tier. Let's go pull up Salt Mine just in case. Jack missed a qual for Salt Mine, right? But made... Oh, no, did not make. Yeah, because he missed a qual, he had one less chance and then did not make top 8. And chat really wants him A. I think he's going to end up being the bottom of A. I don't know. He has that peak. He has a... You know what? You know the reason why he's A? It's because he had a grand final and like a NAS win in one of those Arm the Rebels. Lost a sickness bot? True. All right, we got to keep it going pretty quick. Papa Spider! Although I need to reset these so people can vote for S if they want. Where do we put Atomic? Where do we put Atomic considering NAS is S, Atto is A, B is Raziers, C is the Mob? I think that I might tend to agree. My gut here was what you guys went with, which is C. So I like that. How about AJ? Yeah, inactive. Inactive, really. A few of these guys should just be not on here, but I ended up making them because I couldn't resist. I got in a roll. Where do we put AJ? AJ made top 8 in NA Salt Mine. But, oh no, he didn't. He had to have been close. He had to have been close. Interesting. Chat's all in on B. I think he's going to end up being at the bottom. But I think I like that. I like B. It depends how many people we end up having SAB. Beast mode. Now, this is the one I saw people get most wrong. So let's see if you guys are smarter. On Twitter, I think people got beast mode wrong the most, for sure. So where would you guys put beast mode? I think chat knows ball. Chat is not even like, they're not questioning it. I think beast mode has been put in a ton, but I mean, I think he's in here in B. I don't know if this is ordered necessarily, but all right. What about Cheese? Cheese didn't really play Salt Mine, did he? S is just silly. Yeah, I don't know. Anyone who's putting him S. I mean, Beast Mode was as high as S in some people's ratings. Beast Mode is very, very good in ones. I think B is right for him. What did Beast Mode finish in Salt Mine? Yeah, 5th, 6th. I think 5th, 6th in NA. You're right on that edge. Of B, probably. But I think B feels more right to me. Cheese. Chat is saying they want to put him in C. I'm going to put him at the bottom of C. I think chat was leaning CD. I think there's a world in which actually I'm going to put him in D. We'll see if that ends up being the wrong choice, chat. We'll see. How about Chronic? Yeah, I think Cheese is in this list a D. I don't think I think Atomic wins Atomic versus Cheese, especially if it's a equal ping. All right. This one, I understand the back and forth here between A and B. My gut looking at the tier list so far, because I haven't done this all the way through once, is I'm gonna go A like you guys did. Slightly A. We'll see if we have to adjust that later. But Chronic kind of fizzled out, didn't he? A little bit in the Salt Mine. Lost to FK, lost to Daniel. No, he's fine. That's fine. I mean, he was winning those games before, but B mode has to be A. Maybe I'm wrong about that, chat, because I disagree with a lot of people. A lot of people had Beast mode higher, but I think Beast mode B makes sense. How did Beast mode finish? Lost to Diaz. Lost to Chronic. Yeah. No, B is fine, chat. He could be high B. But I think B is pretty good. Put him low A. I'm not upgrading Beast mode over B. You guys were right. You guys went heavy B with him. Now, right now we're voting for Cosmic, which he was the most done dirty for sure by the Twitter crowd. No question. But this chat just wants him all B, and I think that's right. I think he's got even like the edge. Who did Cosmic go out to? I don't know if he has the edge over Beast mode because he lost to Beast mode head to head. That's how he got eliminated. But I think he often wins against AJ. And if we're putting AJ B, but like I said, AJ is at the end of B. So I like Cosmic right here. Surely he's above Beast mode. I mean, he had some sick win. I mean, I think this crew being together is not bad. I don't think there's anything being egregiously wrong here. CRR is a bit inactive. So we'll do CRR, but it's tough. I mean, are we voting over all the years or on the edge of now? This is like right now. Right before RLCS 1v1 starts, who do we think is the best right now. CRR over Cheese? CRR is a bit inactive, but yeah, I would have, I think, CRR over Cheese. I don't think I can go as high as, I don't think I'm going B with CRR with what we've seen from him recently. So I don't mind dropping him in here with Atomic in C. I think historically he's better. Like this is like as low as he's been in many years. But I think he's slightly inactive. And yeah, I mean, I think putting him in low as D would be really low historically for a guy like CRR. Let's do Daniel, chat. Let's do Daniel. Where do we put Daniel? Daniel. I think this one's pretty clear. I agree with you guys. He's probably just in this list so far a clear A. And he's probably in the mix here with Mr. Chronic. I don't know if Jack is necessarily in front of those guys, but they're behind Atto. Diaz! Don't get this wrong, chat. This is another one that a lot of people got wrong. Do not get Diaz wrong. I need you guys to know ball. And you do. Congratulations, you do know ball. This S tier is ordered, by the way. Nas, Diaz. Hello, I'm here to spread good vibes and ask you a question. So I'm going around Twitch asking streamers a question to spread good vibes and connect people. I'll ask you a question. Just tell us the question. And if you want to answer it, if not, totally fine. After you answer it, I can give me the question. If you want me to give you the next streamer, go to the next streamer. Go to the next streamer. I can't. the vibes are off. I didn't see a question in there. Where do we go with Drally, chat? Where do we go with Drally? Diaz is indeed S. You don't need to spam this, okay? There's not a single question. It's all exclamation points. I'm here to spread good vibes and ask a question, and then 10 out of 10 exclamation points. Not a single question mark in sight. Is Feer really an RLCS caster now? I am. For 1v1s. All right, I like Drally A. I even think he's probably high A. Does it make sense to put him over Atto? I'm going to go with no, it does not. Drally didn't play Salt Mine. I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? Daniel's above them, though? No? I don't think so. I think Daniel, a Daniel that's above Atto Drally is, I mean, I love my guy Evo, and Evo played amazing. I watched those games. But unless we're going to put Evo of like above or with Atto and Drally, which maybe we end up doing. Dr. Known, chat. Where does Dr. Known go? Atto currently rates higher due to recent performance, but Drally could absolutely be an S. Yeah. Drally, he kind of like half gave up. He won the Feer 100K Invitational, which is the best tournament to ever be run. And it's just like, once you have that title, why keep playing, You've won the biggest tournament there ever was. No reason to keep grinding, right? Dr. Known C is the biggest spread I've seen. I think Dr. Known C is probably right. There's a chance that he ends up here. But it depends how everything else looks out. I'm going to put Dr. Known at the end of C. Evo! Why is Dark not on the list? I mean, he hasn't played in forever. You think Appjack is better than Chronic, though? Have their recent matchups gone that way? I feel like Chronic has had that edge. I don't know. Jack had a big burst. He had a big burst. Was looking like he was just, you know, a top 1v1er once again. And then like he got either that finals against Atto, beat Nass. It was like, wait a second. And then he got sick and then missed the Salt Mine qual and then didn't crush the next Salt Mine qual. And like was going to close games with guys he shouldn't. And so, you know, there was a flash in the pan there. Evo is probably A. I agree with that. He's probably above this Beast Mode Cosmic AJ. And he is maybe right here. It just depends how much you value his win, his second place finish, his 2 wins against Daniel. And what did he get a win against Diaz too? But he didn't win against Diaz the second time? Something like that. I mean, that's... I can't remember. It might have just been 2 wins against Daniel. Might have been Daniel Diaz. Daniel Diaz. He did beat Diaz once. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. That's just such a good set of games. You could probably drop him. You could, I mean, if you just go Salt Mine rankings, you could drop him right here above the other two. But we don't want to make it exactly like a Salt Mine rating. Like, do we expect Evo to repeat it? Maybe. All right, Exotic hasn't played him forever. I'm not sure why I included him. But where do you guys think Exotic would be? There probably should just be like in an active tier. Just throw the people that I mean, I think Exotic would end up being like at least C probably. If he did play. Is that crazy to say? He is like grinding ones ranked. Would it make sense to put him with Cheese? He is signed up? Screw it. If he's signed up, I'm going C with Exotic. We'll see if I end up being wrong about that. I feel like Exotic Doctrinone could even go Exotic's favor. Exotic CRR, Exotic Atomic, Exotic Red Mob. I think he's okay there. FBI. A lot of people are underrating this guy, if you ask me. Where would you guys have FBI? Is it because he didn't play Salt Mine? Did he try and qual Salt Mine at all? Or did he just do worse in Salt Mine than I thought? And so everyone has a good reason to not believe in him. Let's see. Salt Mine qual 4. I think he probably just didn't play because he didn't make the Liquipedia. Qual 3, he did make the Liquipedia. He lost to Rawas. Okay, that doesn't count. Qual 2, did he play it? No, or he lost obscenely early. Again, which I doubt. And then Qual 1, he might have only played 1 qual and lost to Rawas, which is just like, you don't really get a good read necessarily. I probably should have had Forky. Yeah, chat's gonna go B. I think that's probably right. I think FBI would be favored against Doctrinone. You know, when you just look at the Saudi matchups. And I would think FBI Red Mob would be a good game. But I also think it depends where these guys play. If they play the Saudi games like where they play EU servers in between, FBI is probably favored against these Americans, but that's just because he gets a bias. First killer. First killer. What is the prediction? How many players on B tier? That's such a silly prediction, dude. Insane is it's classic insane. Yeah, I think the way we have it so far, first killer's gonna go with the rest of his North Americans over here. In A tier. This list is horrible. Cash Money. Watch this ad. Couldn't help but notice you're not subbed. Flitz. targeted ads. No, I think our list is good so far. I don't see anything egregious. Where are we gonna go with Flitz? I think we gotta pick an E. I think him and Cheese are gonna be pretty close though. But we got to start trying out some people in E. Chat voted for it as well. We'll see if we end up feeling egregious about it. How about Frosty, chat? FBI seems high for the rest. Very decent. No, I think FBI is that good. If FBI is what you're worried about, I feel good about it. Cash Money Sad. What you said this list is terrible. What's your least favorite thing about it? Before I decide whether or not I feel you have any ground. I do think Frosty is potentially a C level 1v1er. I don't hate this. I feel like B is high. But I think there's a good chance Frosty's a C level 1v1er based on what I've seen. Exotic is C based purely on speculation. Did Cash Money Sad tell me why he doesn't like it? Exotic should be D. I feel like I've seen Exotic play a 1v1 here or there. All right, how about our Open Cups? All the Open 1v1 invitationals, right, have been won by Mr. Ghazi. Where would you put him? Frosty destroyed Alpha Cap. There should be an S+ tier so we can separate the good players from the great. Chronic is not an A tier player. Chronic and Atto or Daniel should not be in one tier. Chronic and Atto or Daniel. You just don't like Chronic. So what I'm hearing is you want Chronic to go down to B. High B. I think A is going to be a bit overfilled. So there's a chance we could jump some people down to B. Honestly, I wouldn't necessarily hate this. Like, I don't know. There's a reason why they're at the end. All right, Ghazi said, chat just says B. Yeah, I think that's just right. I think you're just right about that. I think you're just right about that. I'd even put him maybe like right there. That's where my gut wants him. Juke. I think Chronic was looking really solid. He was one of the first to qual for Salt Mine. And then he just lost to Daniel and First Killer. It's not bad, but you could argue that's enough to push him down to B. All right, chat wants Juke and C. That feels high to me. I'm going to put him in D. C is getting a bit full. Jor Oots! What about Jor Oots, chat? Jor Oots, as a reminder, got 5th, 6th in the Salt Mine. Losses to Rawas and Shoddy. Losses to Rawas and Shoddy, who are both not rated yet. I think we're going to end up putting Jor Oots A. And I think there's a chance it's going to end up pushing some other people out of A if we want to make it nice and clean. How about Joyo, who never plays ones? So why did I include him? I think Joyo's probably here. Or here. I mean, here. It's hard to say. You know what? He doesn't play ones. Joyo and no Forky. It is indeed wild. No, Zapatos is the biggest crime for sure. You guys are heavy C. I'm going to put him D. He might end up doing well against these guys. But he just doesn't really play it enough. Juicy plays it enough, though. Juicy plays it enough. Should be automatic if they don't play ones D, otherwise proven wrong. Juicy plays enough. And I'm feeling like I'm not surprised that chat likes BC. I'm going to go bottom of B, though. I'm going to go bottom of B. He's played only really tough opponents, I feel like, recently. He kind of only takes games when they're really hard ones. So his record might not look as good. But I'm thinking about him versus the Mob, Atomic. He could drop some of those games. Dr. Known, I'd have Juicy favored. I'm going to go with low B. Joria is because of the Fear versus chat. Joria's S. You take Juicy over the Mob more than 50% of the time. Yeah, Juicy's going to be above the Mob. All right, Killiers has played very little 1v1, but he did play some Salt Mine. Lost to Nush to get eliminated in the single elim, is that right? Or did he, in Qual 4 of EU... No, it wasn't in the single elim. Oh, it was. It was. Yeah, it was in the single elim. It was before the qualifying game. So think about where you might end up putting Nush. Chat wants to drop him in B. I don't hate it, but I think we have to give him low B. Killiers versus the Mob. Let's go B. Let's go B. We'll see if B gets over hyped or over filled. All right, chat. Nightya. Nightya making late qualifiers in NA a ton. Where would you guys have him? Fear's mustache reminds me of my sister, huh? For 1v1 Darku should be in here. He was running up on Moxie. Did he not play any of the qualifiers? Cheese B tier? Nah, I think we're okay with where Cheese is at. Surely taking a couple minutes to add people like Forky and Zapatos should be worth. The problem is it's not super easy to add them, but I'll see if I can at the end here. But also, with each person you add, then the next person who... Did we go D? I think there's fine. I think he might be above Cheese, though. I can't remember if Cheese actually played some of those qualifiers. All right, let's not get too hung up. We don't have a ton of time. Kofer. Kofer played some Arm the Rebels. Did he play any Salt Mine, though? Or did he play Arm the Rebels? I think he played Arm the Rebels. He also played... I'm thinking he didn't play Salt Mine because he would have been in this last qual fairly deep if he had. He certainly wouldn't have been eliminated before the Liquipedia portion of the tournament, and he's not on here. So I'm guessing he just didn't play Salt Mine. If we're going to put Kofer D, I almost feel like he's one of the stronger Ds. Kofer Frosty, who am I thinking is going to win? Dude, I might even think Kofer's going to win that. No, Frosty's pretty good. All right. I'm fine with that. Lion Blaze. S only for Rawas, Moxie, Nas, and Diaz. A just for Wavy, Shoddy, Zen, Vatira, Tempo. Chat, you guys can do one of your own, by the way. I think if you just click on this link, maybe I'll just pin this. Did that get pinned? I can't see the pin, chat. I'm trying to click pin, but there we go. Manually unpinned or end of stream. Perfect. You can create your own if you want. All right, C. Lion Blaze is high as C. Did Lion Blaze have good results in... I haven't seen... What has he done recently? Dude, I so wish that RL Duels was up to date, but it doesn't have Salt Mine in it, so... I think there's a small chance. I haven't seen him recently, I'll be honest. Where am I on the list? I won half of my matches in Salt Mine. Good question. Luis P. Luis P, chat. An auto ad's about to run here while we're voting for Luis P. We get it. I've used up all my delays. No clue? Luis P is probably like... I mean, we could maybe just go D. But he's probably C. Like right there. I haven't seen him play in a while. Poor Flitz. Hey, I think once we fill this all out, he won't be alone. He's on the list. Anybody who's on the list is a good 1v1er. That's what's important to remember. If you're on the list at all, you're a good 1v1er. What about Mr. Magic Bear? What about Mr. Magic Bear? Did he try and play any of the quals? So AZAP is bad? No, I had AZAP. He was one of the first guys I made. But then I started doing the flag thing. And I thought, okay. Oh, Zapatos. He actually isn't one of the US guys. He wants a Mexico flag, I bet. And then I just forgot to go back and make it. Why is Daniel and Evo above First Killer? Because they're good at the game. You can maybe go like this. I'm gonna keep Evo above. I'd have to look at the First Killer Daniel head to head, to be honest. Magic Bear in D. Yeah, with his boy Cheese and Nightya and Kofer. Can we just take Flitz off for now? He's the only one in E. Once we find another person in E, I can't... Somebody pointed it out. I can't look at it anymore. Moxie! Maybe we didn't need E after all, but we'll see. I think it depends on how filled we want to make the S tier. Chat seems to be deciding between S and A for the mock. But the good news is that the mob, not the mob being Red Mob, but the mob of people in chat usually get to the right answer. Usually with everybody voting, they get to the right answer. And the answer is, of course, A. Not S. Probably about right where I just dropped him. I'd like to see Moxie Evo on LAN. Jorut's won a couple of the recent ones. You could even go here. He's not S. He's not S. Mako. This is the guy who won the 1v1 LAN thing. The not flippin' spin. What was it called? Vitality ran it. It was like to find the next Zen, I think. And you had to be not a pro. And like Moxie was technically going to farm it. But then they had to say Moxie's not eligible because for some reason, even though he's not a pro. Moxie's probably here. This is where my gut wants to put him. But... Why is Monkey Moon on this list? He must have been on the ones leaderboard or something when I was scrolling through it. He plays some ones. Mako, people don't feel as, you know, good about. He's probably just here with Juke, maybe ahead of him. Monkey Moon. Why isn't Zap on there? Yeah, Zap is probably a C. Yeah, Zap's probably like C tier. But yeah, he's not on here. Which is an actual mistake. No other way. Where do we put Monkey Moon? Chat wants to put him in D? Honestly, dude? I mean, would I expect him to actually perform at a D level? Should we just put him at E because he doesn't play? Alongside Exotic, who is on C? We'll see. I don't know. We might just remove them. We might just put them at the end. Mozzarella. Mozzarella. We saw a lot of mozzarella. If they don't play, you shouldn't be ranking them. Yeah, they play ones like ranked a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if that's enough. Diaz and S? Mods? Mods, get him. Mozzarella. Chat has a C or a B. Nah, not a B. C is right. I'm fine with that. All right. You like the hat? Thank you. Nico. I feel like we're going to end up not using E. Gassing Ghazi is nuts? No. No, him and FBI probably close. Him and Clears probably pretty close. Clears is tough to say. But for sure, he's over Dr. Known. Yeah, I don't hate that. You think FBI is too high? No, FBI is pretty good, man. All right, chat wants. What if we brought some of these people into E? What if E was looking like? Ugh, I just don't know how to do it. Hmm. Hmm. Continue on. Continue on. If you see anything miserable, let me know. Nuggets. Don't hate it. Chat wants B. I think he's probably bottom of B. I think we're deciding between B and C. I wouldn't go as high as A. I like B. All right. Nush. And then maybe the one you guys have all been waiting for. I think there's a clear place for Nush to go. Nugget showed insane potentials. Shame he never lived up to it. He still could. We're at the editor.
OMG, is that RLCS special guest caster Feer?
That is me. Thank you for the 31 months. All right, chat's going B. I think that's right. It almost feels like we have to put him under Ghazi because he's lost so many head-to-heads against him. But I like him up here. He could be right there. Nupo! Chat, we're even going to change the music for Nupo. Where do you guys have Nupo? Listen. I have mentioned many times that the masses know where to put somebody. Nupo's one of the toughest there is. He did not play Salt Mine. He did not play Arm the Rebels. He did not play some of the toughest 1v1 tournaments. His rank 1. Rank 1 in game. His show matches, a single loss to the Mock. Chat is heavy S. This one's a slight speculation. It might be recency bias, chat. I think with how everything's shaken out, we're gonna want Nupo on S. I think with how things are shaking out, we're gonna want Nupo on S. I know I've been saying the S tier should only be Nasty Ez, but the way we're filling this out, I think it represents it better if Nupo is just last on S. So I'm putting him last on S. We'll see if we want to change that. Oski, worst take you've had all night. Hey, tough. Can't make everybody happy. He needs to be more active. Yeah, I hear you. Listen, I wouldn't mind just going top of A as like a punishment for not playing any tournament. I'm still 50-50 between the two. If you're not gonna play any tournament, are we gonna push you S? I really love that argument for A. But what it comes down to is if he played the tournament, how do I think it would finish for him? Unless he doesn't run in the Moxie. I think he's got a specifically maybe a bad matchup against Moxie, but if he's able to dodge him. But these other guys, they didn't have the luxury of for free dodging Moxie by just never playing against him. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Let's hold him at S for now. All right, Oski into B. I don't hate it. Definitely not A. Probably above this C tier. You could maybe fit him in C depending on where you want to go, but Chow was heavy B and putting him even higher in some places, so. Not even over Nuggets. The mob. You're pretty high C right now, I would say. But we're going to stick with it. Parth. All right, we're going to switch off this intense music. I couldn't handle it anymore. That was a tough decision. Where Nupo should go. I really don't hate. I'll tell you what, if we can have a clean line with the line A, there's a chance I move Nupo down as like a, hey, you got to play tournaments type thing. Do a show match between Red Mob and anyone in B and he wins? I don't hate that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Chat has Parthen E. I haven't seen him play in forever. I think he probably would do better than that, but Radosin, let's just put him at the end. He doesn't play. Reddles. Yeah, there's a good chance Mob should be B in after all this is said and done. But we might be Mob biased. Nush Mob is pretty close. It's tough, man. It's tough for these people who are right on the border. S tiers for going to FIFA E for being here. Reddles, chat. Crispy Maestro, they in the 4 months of Prime. Chat agrees he's a C. He probably is. He's probably above these guys. He's... I wouldn't even hate if we made him the king of C behind the Mob. CRR way too low. He's just a bit inactive. I agree. When we were voting for CRR, people were like, Rise doesn't really play. Should we just take Rise out? Yeah, let's just take Rise out. Rawas! Chat, where do you have Rawas? Where is Mr. Rawas? Man, he's so close to being S again. Chat is voting S, but I'd almost rather bring Nupo down with him. I'd quicker do this, I think. Rawas looks so good. Rawas, towards the end of Salt Mine, the very end of Salt Mine, was, wait a second, like, is he back? Is he S again? Game 7 with Nas? But he didn't do it. He nearly beat Nas, but he didn't. I like Nas and Diaz by themselves. Maybe we go like this. Maybe. I'm gonna have him sit here for now. That doesn't feel right. He looks so good though. Rawas at the end of Salt Mine was just back, man. It was magical. It was magical. Rawas at the end of Salt Mine. Oh, it was so magical. Was he fully back? We all wanted to believe it. But yeah, he just had some questionables before. And so it's like, the question is, were his questionables because he was purely rusty and now he's just back? And if so, then he could just be S tier again. Like if the finals for Rawas is just Rawas again and he just had to shake off some rust, then he's S tier. If we're worried at all that any of those losses were like part of who he is now as a ones player, I mean, then we're not even having to discuss. It's just, he's just A tier. But that finish in Salt Mine, whew. Yo, thank you, thank you. What about Scribbles, chat? Ooh. Does the whole thing just look better with these guys down here? then it means we have to have Nupo and Rawas in the same tier as a Chronic Jack. And that's when it starts to get a little filled. So, dude, I hate to do it, dude, but there's a world in which we do something silly. There is a world in which we do something silly like create a new tier to make it really fit. Scribbles right here. I think everyone's talking about Rawas saying S tier. Seiko doesn't play. Shoddy. Bro put Nupo, Rawas, Nash, Drowley on S. That's it. Drowley also did the same thing Nupo did, which is giving him his A tier, which is just not playing Salt Mine and not proving it. You never know what will happen if you actually play Salt Mine. I really hate S+, but I almost feel like we need it. I really do hate a tier list with S+, and yet here I am starting to convince myself that Nastias need to be up by themselves on an S+. And then we could throw like Nupo, Rawasato, Drowley onto an S tier. And I think we're cooking with that. This is 100% correct. What did he say? Nas only just beat Rawas with an 80 ping advantage. Rawas not S tier is so disingenuous. Guys, Rawas had losses that Nas just doesn't ever get. That's what you guys are forgetting. His peak was there, but his valley was weirdly low. You guys who are wanting him up in S are just forgetting the valley. You're like, I don't care. My goat can lose a couple times. That doesn't change how I feel about him. You want to know whose goat never loses? Nas. People who have Nas as their goat. You want to know whose goat never loses in North American tournaments? Diaz. This one's interesting. Chat is really split on Shoddy. I think Shoddy's probably here. I think he's B. We need S+. I'm just doing it now. I hate it. I hate S+ by virtue of it. But it just... I put 50 people on this list. And so now I'm suffering the consequences. Whoops. What color is S normally? It's like this color, right? S+, Nupo, Rawas, Atto, Drowley. How about this? That looks better to me. Shoddy can now be an A, because this makes room for Shoddy, if you ask me. Oh, I'm feeling so good about it now. I'm riding a high. I can't believe S+ has made me have this much of a high. Shameful, but better. Yeah, it's shameful. It's shameful to have S+ for sure. There's no question. Angel of New York, but or Onyx or net of North. Thank you for the brand new tier 1. You just can't. I put too many people on this tier list. I got ahead of myself, okay? Really? We should have cut off like all of the D and E tier and just done these guys and spread them out over all 5, and then it would work out better. Fear a Nupo hater? No, this is you can if you need to copium chat. The way you copium is this is punishment for not playing any tournament. If you're not going to play any tournament and you're not going to be a Salt Mine winner and you're not going to prove you can do it from beginning to end of a big bracket, then you're going to only be top of S tier, even though you probably can hang with these two guys. M7 MC. They have the 2 months of Prime. You should have a Mina and S plus. We do. Nas. Roasted. Roasted. Skippy. I like in D. Smashy. My tier list with similar principle. No tournament or show match equals not high tier. I'm feeling better about this tier list already, man. That S plus thing really solved a lot of problems. Does Nupo choose to not play these tourneys? Yeah. I think he just chooses to not do it. Smashy in D. Yeah. He might end up beating like a Luis P nowadays. But I think that's fine. Stizzy. Does he really play? Ross greater than Diaz though. Starlord just says false. Chip Sharp says thanks. He chooses not to do one tourneys because he doesn't like them. But I would still put him in S tier. I beg. I actually don't like to play RLCS because I don't like 3s tourneys. But I win all the scrims. My team wins every single scrim. Every single scrim, but I don't really like 3s tourneys. So I just don't really want to play them. But I should be rank 1. I should be considered the best 3s team in the world. Of course not. You would never be the best 3s team in the world if you skipped out on RLCS. So, and what people don't realize is so much risk comes in with playing RLCS, which is that I think Stizzy might be down here. Even though nobody said it. We'll see. Toxic chat. You can lose. You can lose super early on. Think about Rawas. If Rawas had skipped Salt Mine and had just played show matches, just played a final show match against Nas, he would be like, he'd be unquestionable S plus, right? We'd be like, oh, he just barely lost to him, but it's Nas, but also remember it's a Rawas S plus. But Rawas went through and had to play the full tournament. He had to play against some guys that maybe he's not used to playing. Maybe there's more risk for him because there's nothing to gain there. He falters a little bit. He gets a loss. Nupo doesn't have to do any of that. Toxic in B. Yeah, it's probably high B, right? Would it make sense to do this? Put Nugget down with the mob? To make room? We'll see. We'll see if we end up needing to put Nugget back up there. Diaz gets destroyed by all S plus and S tier, not gonna lie. Oh, goodness gracious. To be fair, people only got to see Diaz play against EU on high ping. Which, to be fair, he plays against NA on high ping too. But we have yet to see Diaz on low ping against these guys. Except for Nas, which he's done well against. But you could argue he just has a good matchup against Nas, which probably isn't true. Diaz never plays against good players. He's got good games against Nas. Diaz went 1-1 against Nas on low ping. Both went to game 7. When EU players played on NA servers versus Diaz, they won, like Vatira Joyce. When EU players played NA servers versus Diaz, they won. Oh, did Vatira and Joyce win? I mean, historically, EU players got straight up farmed. But you're right, Vatira did get a win. Diaz has struggled here and there. He's getting his break because he's dominated for a long time and wins every NA tournament, he's getting a NA bonus. It's true. It's true. Hey. You caught me. Diaz is getting a slight NA bonus probably from the fact that he has to only compete in NA all the time, but you have to reward him for just winning. Tempo is probably a B. B is going to be a little stacked. Can we put Tempo A? Can we put Tempo A? You don't like Tempo A? I don't know, man. Tempo looked pretty good, man. Tempo be looking good. I don't know. I don't hate Tempo A. We'll see if we end up... Tempo looking good in Salt Mine. Let me go see where Tempo lost again. TRK is kind of inactive. He kind of deserves to not be rated. Let's see. How did Tempo lose out? Lost to Jor Oots, lost to Atto. So a loss to an S tier and a loss to an A tier. He could be bottom A tier though. Raziers, who made top, lost to Nas. Lost to Mach. Ooh, it's just close, man. There's a reason why Raziers is top B. What if Tempo and Raziers played each other? I don't know. Maybe I'm just in love with the Dominus. We think TRK's up here, but he didn't play. I almost feel like we just want to put him in the doesn't play. I think we're just going to put him in the doesn't play category. All right, chat. How about Vatira? Where does Vatira go? He's just probably A. Where in the A? I mean, he could be next to Mach, honestly. I feel like Vatira's pretty good. He didn't do any of the Salt Mine stuff. Probably not above Jor Oots, though. Probably not above Daniel, though. Probably not above First Killer, though. Probably not above... What if we put him right there? What if we put him right there? I think Vatira would have made top 8. All right. Wabe. Yeah. Chat, I'm thinking our tier list is looking good. Boy, do I hate S+. What's a funny name to call S+ instead? You should add Alpha Cap to the list. He is better than Diaz. Alpha Cap, if I add them to the list, would be an E. Yeah, he'd be E. I'm trying to decide if he'd be E or if we need a new tier list. But he'd probably just be E. Some of these guys in E, he may struggle against. Nah, he's fine. He would be fine. Can I have the link to the tier list myself? My friends want to try and order the players themselves. Yeah. There should be. It was once pinned, but Vacanus might have unpinned it because he had to clown on somebody. Can you pin that again? For some reason, when I click pin, it doesn't work. Wavy chats. I'm leaning B for wavy. I think wavy. Chat. I think I'm leaning B for wavy. Yeah. If we're gonna say cosmic is B. All right. Wisty. Trust your gut. Do not pander to the A voters. I have trusted my gut. I've straight up ignored your guys' popular vote at least once. The thing is, I love a good, clean line. So I do not like that B has one extra. And C is also full. C is also full. Make it longer? I can't. Low-key, Wisty has a ton of close matches with Diaz. I think Wisty C is fine. We just can't afford to have another C person. I think we're definitely not going to go up to B, though. I think Wisty's here. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna shift some people just for the okay, does Zen play enough? We just say no, right? We just don't do Zen. We don't do any of these guys because they don't play enough, right? I think we're just gonna not put Zen in. He would not be S plus. He would not be S. You'd vote A? Yeah, he's probably in this crew. But he's inactive enough. Yan is inactive. People who had Yan over Diaz, I will never shake their hand when we meet at LAN. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. Now the question is, can I easily add Zapatos? I'd probably put Zapatos C. But that would mean we'd have even more people. What if we put Frosty the Snowman down into D? And what if we put Raziers at the bottom of A? Just to get the clean lines. You think Toxic goes to A? I want to give Raziers the nod for his Salt Mine performance. Though Toxic might also be A. He should be above tempo. I think that's debatable, but I wouldn't hate it. What do we think, chat? How is Wavy B? Because he should be A. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I mean, dude, he looked better than these guys, but he's faltered slightly, my guy. Let's go look at Wavy real quick. Wavy in Salt Mine, lost to Daniel, lost to Diaz. Tough break. Okay, that's a tough break to go out. But he did qualify in qualifier 4. It took him a long time to qualify. He qualified last, very last into the top 8, but he did beat Moxie to do it. Credit to him. He lost to Moxie first before that. What about some other qualifiers, Salt Mine? He's losing to Evo. Doesn't necessarily mean you're not B. Oh, wait. Evo we have is A. And then he's losing to Evo twice. Okay, losing to Evo twice in qualifier 3, which is fine. It makes sense why he's one tier lower. Wavy then loses to Daniel, which makes sense because he's underneath the A tier. And then he loses to Cosmic, which is B tier. Chat, we're fine with. I've already convinced myself. I'll look at the last qualifier as well, but I can't imagine bumping him up higher now. Chronic beats him. That's an A tier player beating him. And then Cosmic beats him again. Chat, we're fine with B. That's fair. I don't think either, but maybe Yan also doesn't lol. I think Yan is still incredibly good. Yeah, maybe. I wonder if Yan is going to play... If Yan can play NA... Or sorry, if Yan can play Sam and Diaz has to play NA, then we might have both of them there. Any leakers? Wait, Mateus? Wisty is B at least. Diaz versus Yan. Who do you think would win? Diaz. Wisty you think is B at least. The problem with putting in B, which I don't necessarily hate, is it requires moving someone down. I'm also thinking if Wisty Mob played each other, I might favor Mob. Drowley above Atto? Nah, play tournaments. Play tournaments. Play Salt Mine. Or get rated slightly below. What's wrong with Nush? Why Nush question marks? So Joreuz is top 10 in the world right now. That's deserved. Yeah, these are generally ordered, I would say. Atto didn't win a single Arm the Rebels. Drally didn't win a single Salt Mine game. Nush should be right behind Ghazi. That's fine. I don't think it's really a big deal. He shouldn't be ahead of Ghazi. He's lost to him too many times head to head. Nush Cosmic on low ping. Maybe Nush. Nush Toxic. Nush Wavy. Yeah, Nush could maybe even be high. I don't know. I don't hate this one. Oh, wait. Let me see what this Mateus... Diaz is almost never top 1. He usually hovers around touch. Yeah, I think so too. Wait, what was Mateus saying for yeah, I think so too? Like do you think he'll play? Yeah, you confused me back in this. I was like, Vatira top of A and Moxie in S. Vatira top of A? No, that's not terrible. Vatira didn't play Salt Mine though. This is a pretty close crew of people. I mean, Vatira could be here. I don't want to put him above Daniel, Joroots, Shoddy, Evo. These guys who proved it in tournament. Surely I'm not under Red Mob, Wisty, Nugget. Frosty, you got to play tournaments, brother. This is called the tournament punishment. Also, I think I had you here the whole time, but then I needed I needed it to be clean. So, unfortunately, you got the downgrade. Nugget's pretty good, man. So is Mob, so is Wisty. Why'd you pick those guys? Why'd you pick those guys? Whatever, all good? Oh no, Frosty. Frosty. Frosty, I was your biggest believer. I don't know. Honestly, I'd actually not just because Frosty's here, but I don't. What is Lion Blaze? What were his results in Salt Mine? Do we know? Did he play Salt Mine? I can see a world in which Frosty's favored against Lion Blaze, but I also feel like I'm doing it just now because he's here. You have Frosty above Beast Mode. Frosty hasn't played tournaments. Frosty S plus. I think if I did this with no one here, I would have done this. Believe it or not. Frosty not being F tier. Cope? Yeah, it could be Cope. It could be Cope. But actually, no, Kofer's pretty good, dude. Will we have to bring Kofer up as well? I'm just looking at the NA matchups. Scribbles? Dude, I don't know. This could be fine. Honestly, could both be down here. Never mind. Frosty against the Mob. Frosty against Wisty. Dude, Frosty, what were Frosty's matches? Let's go look. I feel like I remember seeing Frosty play a couple times, and I was like, these are pretty good matches. I wish he played more. I remember hitting him up and being like, are you going to play more matches or what? All right, I'm getting the Dr. Fear. It's time to end stream. So do we just lock this in? He'd be high B based on show match results. All right, let me see. Frosty, he went 1-0 against the Mob. 0-1. He just has a bunch of King of the Hill results. 3-2 AJ. 1-3 Nush. 3-0 Wiz. So he's got a 3-2 over AJ. And that, as far as the only thing he's done in 2024, Shouty games, he went kind of even in Shouty games in best of one, even in Mob games in best of one. Wins over Wisty. I mean, I could put this here. Kofer might be low compared to these guys. Zapatos, I can't add because it would add another line, but I'd put him in C. What do we think, chat? Let's lock it in. Let's lock it in. We'll include the screenshot to include these guys who we didn't rank. L tier list. Mob's a hater. We'll lock it in. We'll lock it in. I still think it's a better list than we saw a lot of on Twitter.